This is the 1947 version of the hapless St. Louis Browns. Just above the reference to Bob Moncrief is number 36. In December of 1946, Bemus Point's Walter Brown signed a professional contract with the American League Baseball Company of St. Louis, also known as the St. Louis Browns. Walter Irving Brown was born April 23, 1915, and found his way to the St. Louis Browns in 1947, where Walter was 1-0 in 19 games with an ERA of 4.89. A real local hero. Are you the family spokesperson?
Well, I see my brother has arrived, so I'm sure he can maybe add to some of this. Since I'm the youngest of his four sons, my dad was a relief pitcher in 1947 with the Browns. Prior to turning pro, in 1939, my dad had proposed to her, and she ended up going down to Kilgore. And prior to a game, they got married at home plate in front of probably 2,800 people. And the team ended up buying a Model 8 Ford for their present for a wedding. And after that, Dad moved on where he played, started, I believe, around 43 through 46 with the Toledo Mudhens, the AAA farm team for the St. Louis Browns. And I guess I always asked him, I guess that was his dream. This finally came true as far as making it to the big time, where he got moved up in 47 with the 47 Browns. I found out probably more since I was born in '54. That was the year he quit playing baseball. He ended up in the Canadian League. So I found out as I grew older and found out things that my dad really had achieved throughout his life. It was it was kind of neat. As far as I gathered the information for him to accompany Mr. Dietrich and 9 others for the inductee of the Chautauqua County Hall of Fame. And but I always asked him, I said, well, Dad, what was your, once you got there to the big time, what was your favorite moment? And he told me he beat Casey Stengel on the Yankees, and that was his highlight of his career. He thought that was the greatest thing. One thing he did always mention too, he got the chance. He said he struck out Ted Williams twice, but he said with a smile, he says, yeah, he said he had him could have been 3 in a row, but he ended up getting he had a high towering shot. And that one, he said the wind carried out.
That was a grand slam.
Yeah.
He should have walked him.
So that he got a big with a smile on that. Also, when 1963, in June 3rd, he drove to New York City. He played in the Old Timers game at the Polio grounds, and which I've got I got a program too. I brought. We can pass it around and show you. Yeah, and a great thing is as you look through that program. At that time, there was between the American League and National League, there was 9 members of the Hall of Fame. And personally, I got a chance to meet one of his, 2 of his players that he played with that 47 team, Jerry Whitty, who was an infielder for the Browns, lives in Texas now. He drove up and visited with us one summer. Matter of fact, he came up a couple of different times, had dinner with us, and shared some memories. And another individual is Les Moss, who used to catch for my dad when he was with Toledo. And then when my dad made it to the big time, they roomed together. And Les moved on to he was the pitching coach for the Houston Astros. And 1989, my dad and I flew to Houston. My youngest sister lives there, and we stayed with her, and we contacted Les. And the pictures that I had passed around, the team picture of the Browns and individual, I had contacted that individual for more copies. And I brought down pictures, and it was really the greatest thing for me. In the Astrodome, I got to meet Les. I was down on the field, Dad and I, which was great. You know, he hadn't seen Dad in a number of years. And obviously the story started to fly, and the reminiscing, and so I mean, just be there to see a part of that and be a part of it, I guess at my young age, and to listen to that kind of thing, to me that was the greatest thing that any son could ever go through, and I really appreciated that. And I guess you know, the way listening about the players and everything, you know, Dad would always just put emphasis on how back then they played for the love of the game. Everybody, it wasn't with your Stan Musials and Ted Williams and your great players of that kind of magnitude, your Joe DiMaggio's. You know, they didn't worry about the money. You know, there wasn't that much of a difference as far as a pay scale between that kind of a player versus, say, a relief pitcher or a utility player. So, he said it was nothing like playing in the Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. He said that was quite a facility. And so I guess the first time I attended a Major League Baseball game, I went to Cleveland and watched a game there, and I guess I had back flashes of, I guess, the similarities of the old ballparks. There was quite a bit of that, so, you know, it just is kind of neat to know that to be in a stadium like that. I mean, my dad played there, so it's quite a thing just to find out so many different things, and I want to thank you all for inviting me to participate in something like this. It means a lot to me.
Bemus Point chose the opening day for the town of Ellery Little League to honor its very own big league pitcher. Saturday was Walt Brown Day in Bemus Point. The 74-year-old is one of the top ball players ever produced by Chautauqua County. He played in the major leagues in 1947 and finished with a perfect record, 1-0 with the old St. Louis Browns. He pitched against some of the big stars and remembers getting Ted Williams out.
You remember what pitch you threw to Ted Williams to get him out? Fastball, curveball?
Well, just throw it and make it a strike and try to get him to hit where somebody was. I played with some good ones. Vern Stevens, Ellis Kinder. It all went by so quick.
Brown was an original inductee into the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, and he added a big league touch to Saturday's colorful opening day ceremonies, which included a parade of little leaguers through Bemus Point.